Hello, everybody, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, your executive producer here, and thanks for tuning in to watch or listen to whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to. In these trying times, we really do appreciate everyone that feels that we are worth their time, and we hope that we're able to give you something entertaining to while away the time as you spend it. We particularly want to thank those of you that feel like we're worth financially contributing to, particularly our $25 and up supporters on Patreon, who are Antitonic, Drevian Alexander, Cat Waterflame, Rowan Parker, and Samantha Bates. Yes, I read that off of a list. Thank you very much for supporting us. I know that in these uncertain times, finances are tough for everybody, so that you're willing to donate to us means a lot to all of us here, and we thank you. That being said, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. We're live. Oh, viewers, if only you could hear what happened in the last 2 minutes. Anyways,
I really wish we had started. I really wish we had started off this stream with Alexander. We did start with Alexander Dumas. Where did you think it was?
I didn't hit the button fast enough. It was so...
Well, now it's in there, so we're good.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gran Terra Shadowfront. I'll compose myself in a minute. We have fun here. Gran Terra Shadowfront. I'm John, your game master for the evening. Joining me today is William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Valdez Stonebeard, Dwarven Samurai.
And Nikki.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Nikki. I'll be playing Scuzz Buckets, your local rogue whose brain's a little scrambled at the moment. And Black Lives Matter.
Yes, they do. And Jeremy.
Hi, my name is Jeremy. I am playing Ariel, ASMR Paladin, and something inside joke that I usually reference.
She's a paladin.
Got it.
Wait, why did I say fucking Paladin?
I don't know.
I caught on to that. I don't know.
Gunslinger.
I feel
Fucking gunslinger.
Like you just feel Ariel go like, for a moment, someone made me think I was like good.
I could feel her feeling uncomfortable in my head.
Quick, shoot somebody to get the feeling out of there.
Yes.
Even what is it, Nesme in your brain is like, no sis.
Yo, yeah, Nesme's very much not okay with that.
No, paladin's not her kink.
No.
And Jack.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Gent Minar, the half-elf spellslinger, and my Alexandra Dumas kink is being unjustly imprisoned on an island.
That's a very complex kink.
I know, right?
That requires like several layers of paperwork and people like taking a whole day, and that's way too much.
You think Edmond Dantes had much paperwork on him? He had very little, I'll tell you.
Not him, but others. I didn't say you had to fill out the paperwork. Anyways, Cody.
Cody, I'm playing Ithram Valar, Hobgoblin Water Wizard.
Hobgoblin
Words.
The most off-the-rails introduction we've ever done.
I'm sure we've had worse.
And I am here for it.
Remember that
Pokemon
one time? Day. I remember that.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Titania Valkorian, Eladrin Druid Princess.
Aaron is feeling unwell and will not be joining us this week. We hope they get better soon. And when last we left off, a person fell out of the sky and crashed through the deck of the ship. No matter what you tried to do.
Yeah. Are they... I think I'm right there.
Yeah.
Are they alive
they're
at all?
Dead.
Okay. Important question for mechanical reasons. Did they die in front of me, or were they already dead?
They were already dead by the time you got there.
Shoot. Okay.
But you do find two things on their body. as you're
Okay.
kneeling down over it. One,
Uh-huh.
an amulet that has a severed monkey's paw on it that has all
Okay.
but 2 fingers curled, and a note.
A note.
Yes,
Here you go. That's what the note says.
that's not what it says.
I delivered
you a
this to
present.
you. Yeah.
Do you read it?
Amazon.
Yeah.
It says, upon recovery of this corpse, please return to Professor J.T. McMasters at the Vascone University Extraplanar Physics Department. Enjoy the 65th games.
There's a weird note here. I'm gonna hold that out for someone else to take because I don't care.
As Nikki dies off screen.
Yep.
Just, it all hit me at once in layers.
It's very
I
good.
imagine about now is when winged Ariel lands on the deck with Scuzz.
Ithram will take the note and read it. I guess since he was on the deck, so he'd be at least near it.
Probably.
Yeah. Here.
Whoa.
Have I ever heard of this institute?
Never.
Doesn't
Do-
exist on this plane.
Do you know who that is?
No, I've not heard of this.
I don't
Vasco.
know what like half those words mean.
Yes. What games would? And he just like looks up, expecting more bodies to fall.
I look up too. Yeah. There are no more.
You see,
Okay.
you look up, and you see Scrapper getting some excess wood and heading towards that hole above you to patch where the dude
Fair.
fell through it.
Hey, Ithram.
Yes.
I think I might be able to try something. I haven't tried this before, but I think I might be able to do something cool.
The captain of the Aetherstone walks up behind you, having taken the stairs rather than drop down the hole.
Uh-huh.
If you're gonna try something with the body, can it be getting rid of it not on the ship?
Sure. Yeah. Totally. I cast Animate Dead.
Why the fuck not?
What does your
Exactly.
animate dead look like?
You ain't gonna use it anywhere else.
So I like sort of tap him on the forehead real carefully. And there's a little spark, like static electricity, and gets up.
And some of the spores like sort of come down off your hand
Yeah.
following that spark, and there's little bits of mushrooms begin to pop up on all around it as this corpse. Are you bringing it back as a zombie or a skeleton?
A zombie.
Okay.
was gonna
Otherwise,
say, I think-
we'd lose all the fleshy bits, and I think they want all of it off the ship.
That would
So
be
I'm
useful,
gonna
yeah.
go for.
As
Yeah.
this now fungus-ridden zombie sort of
So
back to its feet.
Ariel swoops over, just goes full flying, swoops over, grabs underneath armpits, lifts up, carries to just past the edge of the deck,
Hey!
and flings.
Yeet! Be free!
Ariel! I'm gonna try and grab on.
Give me an athletics check.
Okay.
Actually,
I'm not
acrobatics
trying
check.
to grab on. I'm trying to tell the zombie to grab on.
Okay, make an athletics check for the
Ariel.
zombie.
Okay.
Actually, an acrobatics check for the zombie.
Let me find a zombie really
Yeah,
quick.
zombie acrobatics. That's really useful.
That's great.
So it's a very specific and narrow field of circus arts, and let me tell you, you never forget your first show.
Yeah. Okay.
But who needs
Zombies
nets?
have
Zombie acrobatics feels like something out of the fuck was the movie?
Oh my god, I just forgot that.
The second one came out
athletics
like
is strength.
last year, I think, or the year before.
Zombieland.
Yes, Zombieland.
Love that
I'm
movie.
thinking of
Okay. This is gonna be -2. I'm just gonna use my roll.
What can I think of?
So 5.
Yeah. So it and it falls into the water.
Ariel!
You can sense it's still
Swoop around,
alive. It's just now
land.
sinking down.
Yeah, I'm trying to swim. Wait.
Sweetie,
It begins to
Yeah.
swim.
no. Just listen, I love you, but no.
I wanted to see if it would work, and it was
Congratulations.
Yeah.
It worked. No.
Thank you. Why not?
That was an undead monstrosity.
It's an animated body, and eventually it'll go back and it will feed the fishes, I guess. I was maybe hoping to make some fertilizer, but no, apparently that's not going to work.
There is a pendant on the floor next to your feet.
God.
Valdeth will lean over and pick that pendant up.
You have a monkey's paw.
Valdeth looks at this thing. Looks at the sky. This thing seems dangerous.
Let's find
Yeah,
out
what
how.
is
But
it?
fun. Dangerous, but fun.
This is very important. This zombie circus act thing came from the book Cirque du Freak. It took me forever to find out that book series name, but now I feel complete.
Fun book from what I've heard.
It
Fucking
is.
awful movie.
Terrible movie, but the series was very good. Anyway.
Valdeth looks over at Ariel. Does she still have her wings out?
Yes.
Angel. Whoa.
I mean, it
That's-
lasts a minute, and it's not been a minute quite yet, I assume.
No.
That, from what you've told me, that sounds like an Esmeen thing.
But,
You're so pretty.
oh,
The idea that this thing would be fun.
Oh. Yes, probably. I'm probably going to like it a lot less in a thunk. Get rid of it.
That's why the idea of you
Oh.
saying anything is fun sounds a lot more like what you told me of Esme.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. There are things that I consider to be fun. But
Drinking.
making a good night of partying.
Drinking with a good night of partying.
Exactly. Understands me. But no, something like that, best not.
May I have a look?
Yes, please, wizard, identify this.
Spend 10 minutes to ritually cast Identify.
Okay. This is a monkey's paw necklace. It has 2 casts of the spell Wish in it left.
Do you also get the fact that a monkey's paw necklace does not take your wish the way you want it to go?
You just know it casts the spell Wish.
Okay.
I mean, we have the evidence of our eyes.
This is a very powerful magical item.
Okay.
It this is too much for us right now. And he'll just take that and stuff it in a pocket until
I will take your word on that, considering it killed this man.
Did
the
it or
ship,
did
ship killed him.
Yeah, no, was like the body already dead? Like, was it a cadaver?
No, it died from hitting the ship.
Yeah, but
So
something...
it became a cadaver.
Yes.
I'm a cadaver, you dead.
nothing anyone tried was able to prevent that death, and I would probably point at the only magical item that he had on him.
I mean, we could go check.
Yes, we don't know if this was the only one.
Still.
It's fair to
Like-
No,
assume.
it's gone already.
Titania, you get the sense that the zombie is being eaten by a very large fish.
Oh, I drop it. Bye, Fred.
That's the fun thing about Animate Dead. When you drop it, it doesn't unanimate the dead. You just lose control over it.
Yeah.
It's being eaten by a very large fish, though. So
Bye.
Hardly knew ya.
That resulted in a very fun situation in a game I was running where there was a zombie rat that would appear periodically to the group throughout their various levels because they animated a zombie rat at one point.
Oh, I don't even
beautiful.
have to. I can't actually get rid of that.
Yeah, it's not a concentration spell.
Yeah, it's
Never
not a
mind.
concentration spell. Yeah, you just
Oh,
it
And it
takes
lasts-
a minute and And it lasts 24 hours.
Yeah, well, your control lasts 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. It won't last 24 hours. Within a
No,
few
it
minutes,
won't.
you've sensed your connection being severed.
If your connection to your zombie lasts longer than 24 hours, please locate your local necromancer.
No, if your connection to your zombie lasts more than 24 hours, you are the local necromancer.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Hey, necromancer's just trying to raise a family in peace, okay?
Yep.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Hopefully they're not in pieces already. That becomes much more difficult.
Or easier.
Well, that was
I mean,
that was
definitely
exciting.
easier and on transit. Mhm.
I'm gonna.
This has been
I'm
a wonderful
gonna.
tangent.
It is. I'm gonna. That was exciting. Cool.
That
I'm gonna
was very
go.
impressive, though. I
as a
did not know that you had that capability.
As a warning for both players and viewers, we are currently experiencing torrential downpour here, meaning that at any moment my internet may go away. So who knows?
Mine too.
Oh boy.
We live on the opposite
well.
side of the
Let's
same
see.
town.
I live in Atlanta, and it's thundering and lightning outside.
Gent is going to walk up to the crow's nest and just see what he can see. As far as immediate vicinity.
Right, you literally mean walk up to the crow's nest.
Yeah. So you all see Gent.
Yep, just
You all watch Gent walk over to the main mast and just put a foot up and start walking vertically.
Show off.
Well, that's
I
delightful.
could use a pair of those.
You get up there. There's a warforged there with a telescope, sort of keeping an eye out on things.
A telescope or a spyglass?
Spyglass.
I really want it to be a telescope. I go, hold on.
Technically the same thing.
Telescopes
No.
are bigger
No.
and designed
Yeah.
for the stars.
Technically the same thing. It is a series of interconnected tubes with lenses connecting between them, designed to amplify your vision.
So you're saying that a telescope and a microscope are the same thing?
Technically, they just
No.
show different-
No.
Absolutely not.
Also, a series of interconnected tubes with lenses in them designed to amplify your vision.
and mirrors.
Those two.
There are
Anyways,
no mirrors in a spyglass.
no, there are no mirrors in Spyglass.
Here's the periscope. Anyway.
Unless the periscope.
Periscope isn't a
getting
spyglass
real-
nowadays.
We're getting real sidetracked. Okay.
So this week on
Yeah.
Optical Debates.
Get walks up the mast.
Yep.
Give me a perception check while you're up there if you feel like looking around.
Yes, indeed.
Meanwhile, those who go on the deck, you are cleared away from the hole as Scrapper begins to, or sorry. Why am I forgetting what the precise name of my?
Because you made how many of them?
Sweeper?
No, Sweeper is the cabin boy / steward.
Steward.
Steward, because cabin boy isn't a rank that would apply to a warforged because they're not.
Right.
They don't. Yeah.
Scrapper's the bosun.
Scrapper. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yep. Searchlight's the quartermaster.
Mhm.
There you go.
And yes, I did make a lot of them because I make NPCs. It's what I do. It's one of the things I do.
I mean, you're not alone in that regard.
Pick characters I would like to play that didn't become NPCs because it's my curse.
But Gent got an 18 on his perception.
Yeah. So
Looking through the fake spyglass.
us.
No, still hasn't done that because he saw what happened to Scuzz when that happened.
Yeah.
Sid.
Do I still have that ring on my face?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There doesn't seem. There's nothing. Like there are a couple other ships in the channel that are further away from this one, but you don't see much other than the cliffs on either side.
Okay.
As the unfurled sails suddenly billow, as some of you on the deck, in addition to seeing Scrapper begin to repair the ship, you see Void Soul at the wheel raise a hand and just sort of clench his fingers, and the sails billow out as if a newfound wind was filling them. Because
Nice.
there's a reason why mages man the helm.
I mean, that was a thing in Faerun where weather mages were like a valuable asset that a ship should have.
They are.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna be on a boat for like what? A week? 2 weeks?
A while. We've got time to kill.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Delightful.
That was excellent work, by the way, Titania.
Thanks. It's gone now.
I'm sure there will be plenty of others that can put things between us in danger.
Dead
Yes.
bodies dropping from the sky? No.
Not dropping
I
from
don't
the
know.
sky, but in our
Maybe.
future.
Yeah.
Technically, it was a living
Yeah.
body dropping from the sky.
That was very dead. I think my point stands.
Wasn't dead until after it stopped dropping.
Yeah, Titania's not going to be that granular about it.
But no, that kind of magic lets people who are already dead keep people who are alive from dying.
Yep.
It can be very useful.
Gent.
I will do my best to.
Oh, go ahead.
I will do my best to control inclinations. I don't have that much of a problem with it personally.
As me does, though.
It's an undead creature. She's a celestial being. You do the math.
There are gods that don't care about undeath.
They
Yes,
smell
gods
bad.
gods of necromancy. Yes, also they smell bad.
You get used to it.
You shouldn't. Why would you want to?
I mean,
'Cause
in that particular case, it was the smell of fresh fungus, which, I mean, living underground, you get sort of used to.
So, Gent,
Mm.
there's the sound of metal sinking into wood at your elbow. As a little
Glances over to see.
as a grappling hook has been anchored in there, and a small blue goblin pulls herself up onto the edge of the crow's nest, whips out an impossibly long spyglass, and puts it up to stare off in the distance.
I love her so much. I'm joining the kneecappers. Goodbye.
That's
This
how
is
we lost
Carrot,
Gus.
right?
That's
Yes,
fair.
this is Carrot. You notice that she's put it to her eye-patched eye.
Right. Gen's just kind of going to shake his head a little bit.
The eye patch is currently on top of the spyglass now.
Right, yep. What do we see out there then?
Dinner.
Really?
Yep. At least 3 merchant vessels, definitely some trading places. That one's loaded with lots of spice.
All right then. So, are you planning on trying to turn the crew to piracy or just...
Just fantasizing. Kenna won't let me.
Okay, that sounds about right. Well,
I found the renegade fighter.
Yes, actually.
Look, the Legends of Runeterra book is really good.
You just sort of stand there with one arm way out like this.
give a shout if you see anything you need help with then, I suppose.
Will do.
And Gent's going to walk back down.
So, you guys have 2 weeks on a boat. Anything specific that you want to happen in that time?
Is that enough time to get water vehicles proficiency?
Make me make me 3 intelligence saving throws.
Okay. 17, 23, 27.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Does anyone else want to try to learn water vehicles proficiency while they're on the ship?
No.
Valdez,
Well.
Valdez specifically wants to take Gent up on his offer of getting her some practice with firearms during these 2 weeks, if possible.
It's strange. Scuzz wakes up the next morning and, like, you've seen him on a boat before. Sometimes he's like a little shaky or he gets really excited about it. The second day he wakes up, he's much more confident on the ship. And when someone's like, hey, do you want to take the helm? He's like, oh yeah, sure. And he's surprisingly good at driving a boat. And he also keeps getting everybody's names wrong. It's really bad. He's like, he wakes up and he's like, not Syrian. Or not, this isn't Syrian. This is not the moonbeam.
Jack, swallow your tongue before you say pilot a boat.
I'm on a boat and it's going
I'm
fast,
restraining
man.
myself. You're on a ship.
What did I just say?
Yeah.
Jack disconnects from the call.
He keeps calling Gent Zozo for some reason. You're not sure why.
So,
Of the names, that's the weirdest
Honestly, as long as it's consistent, Gent will roll with it.
Yep.
Don't! His poor brain!
anyone who wants to learn a skill over this next 2 weeks, because this will be considered downtime. So the next 2 weeks on the ship, you will be able to take time to learn a skill or to research stuff or to develop things or craft stuff if you have the materials with you. Gent wants to learn vehicle piloting. Valdeth wants to learn firearms proficiencies.
Same, me too. Gun wants to learn how to scuzz.
Okay, Scuzz wants to learn firearm proficiencies. Does anybody else want to learn something over the try to train or learn something over the next 2 weeks? Any sort of proficiency or skill?
Titania wants to try and learn Dwarvish.
Okay.
I don't actually know it.
All
Yeah,
right.
Valdeth will gladly help teach Dwarvish.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I need to make a check real quick. And
And-
also, if at DM discretion, whether or not I can actually learn this.
Depend.
Scuzz wants to learn from Ithrim how to use Mage Hand.
You can try.
Yes, he would like to try.
So, we'll do. So we'll finish off everybody else. Ithrim and Ariel.
Well, Ariel is already proficient in Constitution saves, so trying to practice that by drinking will not improve anything. But that is she is very much like, we're on a ship. I am a passenger on the ship. I'm going to act like a passenger on a ship and enjoy myself.
All right.
You gain proficiency in the custom skill drinking. It's a constitution-based skill.
Ithrim.
Yeah.
We're going to assume that in the downtime you have the time to learn and teach one thing. So
Okay, cool. He'd like to learn how to maybe use shields effectively.
Valdeth can teach you that. Valdeth can only. So Valdeth, would you rather teach? Actually, Ariel can also teach you how to use shields if Ariel cares. To
Ariel's
teach.
also a fighter.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure Titania could
Does
too.
Ariel care to teach? I guess is the question there.
If asked, she will.
Okay.
Very well.
So everyone that wants to learn something, except for Scuzz, because your role is going to be different, make me three intelligence saving throws.
It's gonna be great.
We'll wait until everyone else finishes there.
Ooh.
Yeah,
So Ithrim has 3.
Yep, 26, 17, and 14.
I'll do my 3 and then Titania.
Yep.
7, 6. Yep, that's what I thought.
Oh,
If I was one level higher, I would have proficiency in intelligence saving throws.
here we go. 5, 5, 16.
Okay. So Valdeth and Titania, you're making progress.
Okay.
You're not there yet, Titania. You've learned some words, but it's really hard. Conjugating in Dwarvish is particularly difficult.
Why are there 3 different ways to
You've learned specifically
like
where
chicken.
is the bathroom.
Yeah.
Do I know the answer to that?
Waiter, I need food.
Yeah.
And the other thing that everybody learns first, all of the cuss words.
Yeah.
Right.
You've also learned, is this water clean? Because that's something that dwarves would want to make sure you're able to ask.
Okay.
Because
okay.
underwater water can be
Underground water can be
Legit.
underground water can be nasty. Foul Death, you're beginning to learn why you were never taught firearms at a younger age. Oh, this is complicated. You are making progress, though.
One point, Ariel comes up onto the deck of the ship, like a glass of wine, reading a book, and just a bullet flies by, goes through the book, through the glass, and like turns around,
and walks back below
And
decks.
gets like, you were aiming the opposite direction. How did that happen?
That's a hell of a backfire.
Gent, it takes you a little bit to start, but you do eventually sort of get a hand of water vehicles, so you do learn water vehicle proficiency. The crew is willing to teach you. Ithram, you do learn shield proficiency. Scuts, you are going to make 3 non-spellcaster casting checks, which, if we go to our ethereal casting document, these are going to be, so you are going to so you are going to make a Constitution proficiency check, which is not a saving throw.
Phone.
I think. It's just similar to how like Dispel Magic and Counterspell is like just a flat spellcasting roll. You're gonna make a Constitution roll, and you're going to take you're going to spend a hit dice.
Okay.
And you are going to take your hit dice plus just your hit dice worth of damage for each check.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
Since Ithram is teaching Scuzz, would he know, and it's not going to be the same type of casting as he knows, as far as I'm sure? Like, he knows that it's going to be ethereal?
Yeah.
Would he be able to assist Scuzz with enhanceability?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, he will do that before each teaching session.
You're not going to take any exhaustion from this, because each session is going to be taking place far enough apart that you'll have to be able to rest and recover from the exhaustion.
Okay.
But
what does
yeah,
enhanceability do?
Bear's endurance. For Bear's endurance, you will get. Let's see, where'd it go? That's enlarge reduce.
You get advantage on the rolls.
Yeah, advantage on the rolls and 2d6 temporary hit points, but I don't think those are going to be 2.
The hit points are going to matter less. It's just mostly, will you
Yeah.
survive the training?
Yeah.
Will I survive?
So go ahead and take your hit dice worth of damage. So it's going to be 3 hit dice worth of damage.
Can I roll that anywhere special?
I don't know if you can roll. Do you know what your hit dice is?
It's a 6, I think.
No, rogues are d8.
Oh, they're a D8.
Yeah.
So just roll 3d8 and roll 20.
Wizards are d6.
Rogues were a D6 and 3-5.
All right.
Because
I
wizards were a
still
D4.
rolled a D6. God damn it.
3d8.
I got the same number.
That's good.
Same
Got the
rolls.
exact same results.
Holy shit.
3, 2,
Okay.
and 6.
All right.
Different order.
So-
the universe is just like 11, you bitch.
Each time you try casting the spell, you feel you are bleeding off some of your internal ether to try to learn it, and you're sort of getting used to how this bleeding of ether works, and it definitely feels bad. But go ahead and make your 3 Constitution checks, so no proficiency added to it.
No
Um,
have advantage.
You
Yeah.
do have advantage.
But you do
Yes.
have advantage. So it's
Okay.
just your Constitution bonus, basically.
Okay. 7.
Mm.
Can I use DM inspiration
Sure.
on these?
Or you can roll another one
I'm gonna. All right.
and take the highest of the 3.
Okay.
DM inspiration. Basically.
God damn it. Okay.
Oh.
That's fine.
So that's a 7 on the first one.
7. And then 19.
The second one.
And I'm gonna
11.
spend one more DM inspiration just
Okay.
because I have a bunch. Why not? So yes, 7,
Fortunately-
19, 11.
Fortunately, it's a cantrip, so your DC is 10. So it hurts and it's uncomfortable, but you do manage to learn how to cast Mage Hand using your ether. So-
This is gonna be great.
You can consistently cast Mage Hand as a cantrip. However, you will still have to bleed off some of your ether to cast it. So you'll still take a hit dice worth of damage whenever you cast it, but you won't get exhaustion because you have now learned how to channel the ether properly. And you won't have to make a constitution roll to actually do it. You'll just have to take a hit die worth of damage.
Congratulations on your first steps into wizardry. And he pats you on the shoulder.
Now, if
stuck me in. I mean, if you're
if at any point you take a class in a spellcasting class, you will already have Mage Hand as a cantrip, and you will no longer have to spend hit dice.
probably won't, but
You now have that. Your Mage Hand is not the Arcane Trickster Invisible one. It is still
no.
Yeah,
No. I know.
Yes. And
You
Yay!
could carry your plate with that.
I could carry my plate with this. It just because like he used it, he's like, it didn't hurt last time I used this. Just more of that.
Ellen looks a little confused, but just all right.
it's like, but it did. What are you talking about?
I could see the pain on your face.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's because it hurts here. It didn't hurt there. Then, yeah.
Were you a wizard before?
One eye blinks, the other doesn't.
Just
Like
blink,
I could
blink,
use
blink, blink.
I could use magic. I remember being able to use magic. Like I could turn myself invisible and I could talk really loud and I could
So you were like a famous wizard or something.
not famous, no. I did get a statue made of me.
It sounds
I
like
got, like,
famous.
Dude,
Some-
most-
Statues were made.
Somewhere in the world, there is a statue of a goblin. Somewhere in
Statues.
the world, there were 3 statues. Only one is left.
Ah.
It's the
Oh.
one that if you look at it long enough, it'll you look down and your shoelaces are tied.
Together or just tied?
No, they're tied together.
Ah.
They're also tied. I mean, if they were untied previously, so
If you're wearing shoes that have shoelaces, hopefully they're already tied. If they weren't, they're definitely super tight together. Oh, no.
yes.
It's weird.
Maybe you guys will find it one day. Who knows?
You shouldn't. We don't need more scuzz in this universe.
I got a monkey paw. I can find anything.
Oh boy.
No, I'm just kidding.
Please don't try and find the
Nope.
statue of scuzz because
Nah.
it's just going to turn me into a statue. And
Speaking of
look,
which,
Yeah.
on the second day, Ithram, you seem to have lost track of that monkey's paw. Titania, there's a monkey's paw on your bag.
Ooh.
Oh fuck.
Oh no!
Do I recognize that it is the same one?
I mean, very few monkey paws are frozen like this.
Yeah, fair. Okay. Whoa. Hey, Ithram, look what I've got.
He instantly checks his pockets. How?
I didn't take it, but it's here. I don't know if you want it back.
Well, it's fine so long as nobody uses it. It has very powerful magic in it.
What does it do?
It grants wishes,
Whoa.
which I'm assuming. And he kind of pulls out the note again. I don't know what games would drive someone to wish to be away from them, but
Chess.
wishes are very. Chess is very fun.
Monopoly.
I don't know this game Monopoly.
Neither do you, Todd. You're not sure why you said that.
But
Maybe it
wishes
was
are
this
very.
professor person.
Ceiling ninja darts.
Yeah.
Floor ninja darts.
Maybe it was this professor person who made the wish and like flung. I don't know. It
It
could be any. But a wish.
can be dangerous.
Yeah.
There's a reason that it is hard to attain. But so long as we all know not to use it until we learn more about the artifact.
What more can we learn about it? You did your thing, and it tells you everything there is about magic stuff.
Not everything.
Yes, but it also
Tanya doesn't know that.
dropped.
That's what legend
an
lore is for.
individual- Yeah.
Also, what?
I don't know. I just lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I know.
Dropped an individual.
Oh yeah, it dropped an individual from a dangerous height.
Yeah.
So technically, if he wished to escape, he got his wish. He did not escape for long, though.
I mean, one
But-
might say he escaped forever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That argument could be made.
And that's the kind of argument the monkey's paw makes.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Yes.
But you don't want it back. You don't need it back.
I don't need it. I will hold it if you do not feel comfortable holding it.
I can hold it. That's fine.
Will you promise not to use it?
What if you all disappear like Carolina did?
I would
And I
rather
need
you
to-
find another wizard.
But I like
Until
this
we know
wizard.
more.
You're the best wizard I've ever met.
I am flattered, but I know that you just want an excuse to use it, maybe.
Your sister's a wizard, to Tanya.
Yeah.
Ow!
A little bit. But
Not a little bit,
Also-
actually.
no. I was implying Ithram.
Yeah.
A little bit of I just kind of want to keep it, but also like you're really I don't know. You're really good at explaining it. You don't over-explain it, so that's good.
Yes, wizards do have a tendency to be a bit long-winded sometimes. But
Yep, but you don't.
it's
Thanks.
not-
Yeah, no. I'll just keep it safe. And use it wisely. Bye. I have to go and
I
take
cast.
Dwarvish.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna cast slow on Titania.
Like, slow down.
Yeah.
What's the saving throw on that?
Let's see.
I think it's
Um,
I have.
wisdom.
Oh.
It
Wisdom.
was a
Wait.
wisdom saving
Okay.
throw.
All right, I got +7 to that.
Yeah, I know.
22.
Yeah, no, that
Doesn't
saves.
take into effect.
Did you just try and cast something on me?
Yes, I did. You still did not promise not to use it, unless it's dire circumstances.
Okay, dire. Yes.
Somewhere against danger sense is quivering like a fucking tuning fork.
As soon as we have the means to investigate it a bit more, I would like it back.
You spot Kenna out the corner of your eye with a tea set.
Okay.
Continue.
Oh.
Have
shit,
fun
it's
learning
happening.
Dwarvish.
Yeah, Val's teaching me Dwarvish, or getting a little bit. I can. Do you speak Dwarvish at all?
No.
Okay, I know a lot. I rattle something off that is probably 90% just the equivalent of adding an O on the end of words in Spanish. It's real bad.
There's that elf privilege coming through.
Yeah. I'm wondering. Yeah, I'm just gonna do an insight check just to
Yeah,
see.
fair.
Well, no, I don't even understand it, so never mind.
You make an insight check with advantage because it's very easy to tell when
Yeah.
someone doesn't know the language they're trying to pretend to know.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I can
got
make
a
a deception.
disadvantage.
Yeah, I got a 4. You're probably good.
6.
A couple of those words were actual Dwarvish, but you're pretty certain most of it's not.
You seem to be making progress.
No, I promise not to use it unless it's very, very important, and I'll give it back if you get something that can identify it. Bye!
Skuz, you are invited to a tea party. Do you accept?
Oh, of course.
Titania, at roughly this point, you hear a high-pitched squealing sound getting closer.
Hi! I assume it's whatever her name was.
It's Kenna, yes.
Kenna, yeah.
You see Kenna with Gent and Skuz in tow heading towards you, carrying a tray of tea things.
Oh, goodness. Oh, boy. Yes.
It's time for a tea party!
Uh-huh.
And she very, very, assertively for a halfling, just, drags the three of you into a room that has been immaculately decorated for a tea time.
You think Scuz's gonna get dragged in for free food and drink? You got
Yes.
God damn right.
You goddamn right. There is a table that has been immaculately set, with a variety of different teas available, several different cups, all of which perfectly match. The walls have been decorated with paintings of various landscapes and frescoes. There is somehow the room has been turned this sort of dull yellow, almost like Yellow Brick Road yellow, kind of.
Okay.
Which is weird because these rooms were definitely not painted when you got them, and it's not even it doesn't even look like it's been painted. It is yellow now. There's a 4-poster canopy bed in one corner that definitely shouldn't be there.
Say that, but it's there.
It is there.
Yep.
And a
At least until we hit heavy seas.
and a series of a wardrobe and a what's it called? It's a little table with a mirror on it. No.
Vanity.
Vanity, thank you. A wardrobe and a vanity as well. None of which you saw her carry on.
I mean, what you're just telling me is that Tanya and Ariel definitely just could have done better.
And you are sat down for tea. You quick.
What finger foods do you got?
Oh, all manner of things. Just take a look. And she opens up a drawer underneath the table, and it extends for far too long than it should be able to extend. And there are a variety of different sandwiches, like small sandwiches, cookies, biscuits, jams, all manner of a couple of different colorful butters that can be spread across biscuits and crackers. Several different kinds of cheese. And again, more tea.
This is very important. Is this the only drawer that these things are in?
Just one drawer. They're all separate.
Yeah.
They're all separated by little, by little wooden things.
Dividers.
Yeah, this drawer shouldn't exist, but it does.
This is lovely.
Thank you.
You know what? Scuzz is definitely like not going to question like why this exists, but he is going to ask like how. Like, oh my god, how did you get a drawer to be this big with this much food in it, and it's all warm or cold, and the tea is still hot? And he's just like shoveling. He pulls out his plate. It's a Scuzz plate. Shovels his food on there. Just mixes it all in indiscriminately. Jello, brownies. There's hot sauce in there. Like you're not sure why it's all on the plate.
And the drawer doesn't empty either. As you all continue to pull food out of it. The Van Rossums take our tea time very seriously. There are at least 100 generations of magical technology built into every single tea set that we produce and sell.
And
Sorry, this is Scuzz. Like he's trying not to cry. Like this is.
Gent has specifically chosen one type of cheese and one type of biscuit and is only eating those.
Gent, I'm gonna pass you some of. I've taken a sampling of various ones.
I'm fine.
The butter spreads. The butter spreads come in traditional yellow, green, and ivory.
Are they different flavors?
They are.
Scuzz has all of them. All of them.
Scuzz eating is just like the lid on a garbage can. It's just unhinged vertically, dump in, nap.
Exactly.
So what?
Scuzz has a refined palate. He likes several flavors all combined into one. He has a big mouth. You got to spread that flavor around.
Oh yeah. So how has business been for the Steelhearts?
Pretty good.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, we got invited to do this, so that's exciting.
Sorry, hang on.
There's a child making
That's
noise.
okay. Yeah.
Hang on 1 second.
As children are wont to do, they will make noises.
Talk amongst yourself for a minute. I'll be right back.
Oh, goody.
No, get. They taste different if they're cut into triangles.
I'm certain they do. That's
You say this to get as Scuzz is just shoveling food in his mouth.
excellent to see that the Van Rossum hospitality remains top notch.
Can we get one of these in our house?
You can certainly commission it from one of our manufacturers.
How much would it cost?
We custom build all of our tea sets to the particular tastes of our clientele. So it would depend on what you want, and we can, basically sit down for a consultation. They sort of look at what you got to work with, what sort of materials you want, what color you want, where you want it to place. We want it to match with the interior decorator and everything. And then the commission price is based off of once that, consultation is done. So they
sounds like you'll have like you'll have to arrange an appointment with Mr. Buckets and Cathian then.
Oh, not just for the house. I think I want to get one for Ma Buckets for Ma Buckets Day.
Certainly.
What's Ma Buckets Day?
It's the day when Ma Buckets gets celebrated on Bucket Street. She raised a lot of kids, and we all make her things and gift it to her. A lot of food. And a lot of trinkets and stuff. I think she really like something like this.
Yeah.
Design.
We are going to pause.
House.
We are going to pause for a minute to take a quick break because my house is imploding. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. Those of you that are watching on Twitch, please take a moment to enjoy these commercial messages. We'll be back in a few minutes. Bye. And we're back.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, folks. Life finds a way. Anyways, so
Damn right it does.
Your children aren't dinosaurs, John.
says you. My daughter has been screeching like a pterodactyl since she was 5 months old. I'm
That
pretty
checks out.
certain she's a pterodactyl. I am like 95% certain she's a pterodactyl. Anyways,
What we're saying is we don't want to cure cancer. We want to turn people into dinosaurs.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
so
Did you know Will.i.am was in one of the X-Men Wolverine origin movies?
yes,
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was.
And he was
Yep.
by far not the worst thing about
No,
Absolutely was not.
he wasn't.
Absolutely
Anyway.
was not the worst
I don't
part
remember
of
who he
that movie.
played though.
He played John
Rafe?
Rafe.
John Rafe.
John
Yep.
Rafe.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
He was in it for about 5 minutes.
And then he
Mhm.
got his spine snatched. When you get
Which
your
was
back
about-
blown out, but in the wrong way.
Yep. Which was about 2 minutes longer than Dominic Monaghan was in that movie.
Right?
Anyways,
I loved how they marketed that thing because they threw all these stars in the thing, and like none of them matter except for
it was
Jackman, Schreiber, and to a small degree Ryan Reynolds.
my favorite
Thank you
thing.
for joining me on this, Jeremy. I had a whole thing about it yesterday where I was like, I need you to understand that Will.i.am was in a Wolverine movie.
My
And
favorite
it
thing-
haunts me.
My favorite thing about that was that when they parodied that marketing scheme for the Deadpool movie by doing the same thing.
Yep.
We've gone on a tangent.
Brad Pitt's Marvel Comics debut.
A lot of food, tea party.
One of the
Yes.
best cameos in a superhero movie ever, because you see him for literally a fraction of a second,
So
because he's
speaking of tea
invisible the
parties,
rest of the movie.
I got cake. I'm ready for a tea party now.
There we go.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Anyways. So the tea party goes on for a while. Kenna both constantly asks after how you guys are doing, how your families have been, how the whole Griffin Company thing is going. She responds in kind, regaling you with stories about the Van Rossums and the Kneecappers, and how she managed to stumble into this whole leading a Griffin Company thing, and it's very exciting, and every day is an adventure, literally, ha ha ha. She's a very, if not entertaining, amiable host.
Does wants to be her best friend and live inside this tea drawer. Kind of wants to see what happens if he stuffs himself in the tea drawer and it closes.
There's not enough room, unfortunately, for you to stuff yourself in there. It's like
That sounds like quitter talk.
your skull is malleable, but it's not that malleable.
Damn it. If I'm like a cat, like if I can fit my ears, if I can fit my head through it, I can fit.
Yeah, well, that's because your head's bigger than the rest of your body, but
Exactly.
You just need to be a little bit more scroll.
I do.
But that whole scene happens because Kenna promised you all a tea party, and by God, she was going to give it.
My God.
Beautiful.
And if nothing else, Kenna is a lady of her word.
Exactly.
Very loud words. You can hear down the boat keeping her word.
Yes, you can. But less a word, more a sound. It's like a white noise machine, really.
No, that is not. That's a dog whistle. Dog whistle that everyone can hear.
Anyways, but yeah, so that happens. Your 2 weeks pass. You all train in various things. Valdeth, again, you're making progress. It's gonna take a little bit more training than 2 weeks for you to master your thing. Same thing with learning Dwarvish on Titania's part, but you're making progress. Are there any other specific scenes anyone wanted to have over the course of the 2 weeks?
Scuzz wants to show off his mage hand ability, even though it can nearly kill him if he does it too much. by like, no wait, I got it. And like we're eating dinner, he's like, no wait, I'll pass you the salt. Just passes somebody the salt.
Blood comes out your
Nosebleed,
nose.
yeah, right.
I did it.
So yeah, at some point in time, Scuzz hands one of you something magically as blood begins to pour out Scuzz's nose.
That's it.
Excellent.
I appreciate you moving my wine glass a little bit closer, but perhaps it's not that essential at this time.
The weird thing is that Scuzz's blood is that same dark burgundy as your wine.
I mean, doesn't smell like blood.
Blood like wine.
Does it smell like wine?
Wine like blood.
Yes.
Oh my god.
The 2 weeks pass. Fairly uneventfully. The most exciting thing that happens is at one point a shark tries to jump out of the water to attack the ship, and the bosun just one-handedly smacks it back into the water with the anchor he carries.
Could have
Okay.
had a conversation with it or something. That'd be cool.
And continues
No.
on.
I was gonna ask if we got more zombies.
No more zombies.
Darn it.
If at any point you keep the monkey's paw anywhere else, the next morning it's back in your bag.
Okay. That's exciting. I think I would have hung on to that thing.
But yeah, like even if you
So
wear it around your neck or anything, the next morning it's back in your bag.
Okay, I probably do that the first day.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a conversation with Dalvin though.
Okay.
So, at some point. So, thanks for saying that when Ariel threw my zombie out.
It was genuinely impressive.
Cool. So, are we gonna try and like do this for real, the whole engagement thing? Because we haven't really talked about that.
Actual engagement? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Are
a
y'all
good
like in
question.
real love, or are you just like fake dating for?
It was fake dating, yes.
At least for a while.
I read enough fan fictions in my day.
I mean, you are very special to me.
You too. I just haven't. Long-term relationships aren't really a strong suit.
I mean, that's largely up to you. I feel like it's not exactly easy to avoid an arranged marriage, so that's an eventuality. Especially for political purposes.
I could blow it up from one side. That might work.
But, I mean, political marriages happen all the time between parties who have no interest in each other. But as far as actual personal interest, I appreciate you a lot, and I am interested in you and in Ghent, and both of you are fantastic, but that's up to you. What I'm saying is, I'm not going to let my personal feelings get in the way of whatever you need in that regard.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. I get down on one knee. And hold up
A monkey's paw.
yeah. Honestly, it's probably the thing closest at hand. hand. You want to get engaged?
God.
Valdeth just kind of like covers her mouth with her hand, and you can't tell how much of it is shock, amusement, or just like stone facing. Yes, I think I do.
Great. Titania kisses you.
Where? She kisses you back, and after a moment, where did you get that from, Ithrim?
Well, Ithram said he didn't want it, so I'm just holding on to it. He thinks that we may be able to like find some more stuff out about it later, but
Interesting. Did he tell you what it does?
it has a wish in it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wish for a wedding ring. Wish for a wedding ring. Do it. Do it. Wish for a wedding ring, please.
I mean, I can only imagine that making a wish is
support
what
this.
I can only imagine that making a wish is what led to that poor man's death.
See, Ithram said that too, and I'm not sure, like, cause it could be like loads of things. Maybe the guy who was the professor who wrote the note did it. I don't know.
What if that was the professor?
Oh, I didn't think of that.
I'm so
Okay.
glad at least one of my players has finally figured out basically how Conflux works.
Right?
Well,
I'm not saying we're never going to do something stupid and dangerous with this monkey's paw, because let's face it, between the two of us, we are at some point. But let's make sure it's appropriately stupid and dangerous.
yeah, no, I told him I was gonna save it for like if you all disappeared because Carolina did something. I don't know.
Sounds appropriate, yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of, our engagement's largely been, ceremonial.
Yeah.
Do you want me to forge a pair of rings for us? Because I can make something.
Sure. Yeah.
I can put some effort into this. What kind of design do you think you'd want? We can sketch something out and I can make this rather than
I like.
having to rely
I
on
don't
someone
know.
else's designs.
Well, my family crest is like leaves and vines and stuff. So maybe something combining with what's yours? Again, it's
The Valdeth family crest.
Valdez family crest.
The Stonebeard family crest is a graven fist of stone on a purple backdrop.
Okay. I don't know. Something combining.
We'll
You're the one making it. So
yeah, we'll do some design sketches and see what looks good.
I'm trying to have a couple things in my bag. I
Like
like some more bottles of the star stuff. And
speaking of,
yeah.
found this for you. And Valdeth pulls the breastplate of the armor forward and pulls the magma wine.
You got it back from Ariel. Bless
I
you.
did. Now that we've got
Okay.
2 weeks, we can actually burn through these without having to worry about things.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, no, I think this occasion requires a toast.
The two of you get shit-faced.
Yep. That's it. That's all I wanted.
Valdeth, make sure there is plenty of water.
True love.
True.
True
I
appreciation.
ask if this water is clean.
Dwarvish.
I respond that yes, it is.
Oh my
In Dwarvish.
God.
That was yes, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
I like how you guys are drinking liquid hot magma.
Oh my
Celebrate
God.
your
I mean, it's not hot magma. It just makes you breathe fire.
I appreciate how fucking doomed this is, considering the proposal was done with a monkey's paw.
They didn't make a wish with it.
Symbolically.
I was just waiting for Valdette to get on her knee to bring out her own monkey's paw, and then both of them laughed at it.
I was so hoping Tanya was like, I wish for a ring.
And they do the cross arms thing like you do with goblets. Only once it's fully crossed, they then make their wishes.
Yeah,
at the same
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Mm.
And the finger curls. Anyways, any other scenes that you guys really want to have on the next 2 weeks?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
So, end of the 2 weeks, call comes from the crow's nest saying, Luxuria in sight. And you all get up on the deck along with the other two crews, and you see Luxuria, the city of glass. Tall, monumental-esque buildings made of this reflective, smooth surfaces that are, in addition to themselves being multicolored, as the light hits them, the light itself reflects back in a multicolor prismatic array of light. While it is referred to as a city of glass, it could just as accurately be referred to as the city of rainbows. As every time the light hits a building, it refracts in this spectacular array of colors. Weirdly, it doesn't hurt to look at. Like, there's no, like, the light reflection, possibly because it's just being refracted so much, is not painful. Or it could be magic. And also, contrary, it's not entirely made of glass. As you're looking around, there are several more normally constructed buildings along it. The architecture of Eleonora is mostly sandstone and tiled roofs, with these sort of like layered tiles decorating all over the place that themselves are kind of almost works of art, similar to the rest of the building construction. The glass towers of Luxuria, in particular, are much more monolithic in design than the rest of the Eleonorian architecture, but it sort of blends in this very almost like these are naturally occurring structures that a rest of a city sort of built up around, is kind of what it looks like from an outsider's perspective, particularly being that for all of you, this is your first time seeing this city. You're also seeing the hustle and bustle of city life as you approach. Now, Luxuria is nowhere near as big as Terram is, as just the capital city is. But it seems to be twice as densely packed with people. There is just crowds of individuals roaming around, calling out orders and requests and conversation throughout. You're hearing this sort of almost lilting and smooth dialect to every language you're hearing. Basically every language in Eleonora has a Spanish accent. Doesn't matter if it's Elven, Dwarvish, Common, Draconic, or anything. There is this weird, smooth, rolling quality to the way they pronounce it. It's the only place where Dwarvish sounds kind of like Elvish. It's the only place in the world where Dwarvish sounds kind of like Elvish, just because of the way their accents work.
Wow, this is pretty.
As the ship pulls up to the dock, ropes are thrown out and the ship is tied off and the gangplank is set down. There is a dark brown-skinned dwarf with a large dreaded beard, it's a dreadlocks but a beard basically, as well as dreaded hair, beard locks, as well as dreaded hair pulled back and tied up, wearing no shirt, just has this wearing no shirt and very loose fitting pants. standing there with several, like, they look kind of like pamphlets, and sort of fanning himself with it, because as you're all now realizing, it is very hot here. Where Taram is very warm and very Mediterranean, you've gone a little bit more directly into the equator here than you were in Taram. In Taram, you were slightly north of the equator. Here, you're like dead on it. And so it's substantially hotter here. You are all sweating a little bit.
How's the humidity, though?
Very dry.
Probably less than Taram, right?
Yeah, much less humid than in Taram. It's very, very dry here. Welcome to Illinois. Welcome to Luxuria, honored guests from Terram. Please, if you will follow me, I will take you to your lodgings for the evening before you acquire the caravan heading out to our Dunician allies' estate. The dwarf says to you.
Well, let's go, I suppose.
Yes.
Right, off we go then. What's your name, sir?
Give me a second. I was trying to get to that faster than you were going to ask, but it didn't work.
That's why Valdeth didn't ask immediately, because I knew John was looking for a name.
My name, you can call me Isidoro.
Pleased to meet you.
A pleasure to meet all of you. I am only your concierge for this leg of the journey. You will be taking a caravan out to meet up with your clientele. I have, however, been briefed on the very basics of why you're here. So, if any of you require stops at a shop for equipment, any sort of weapons or armor or any other travel necessities, please feel free to ask. I will point out the very best shops in Luxuria as we go to your hotel. And he sort of looks around and expectantly waiting to see if anybody has a specific request.
Yeah, basic sort of supplies for desert travel, that kind of thing.
Certainly, we can provide those and get you to a general store where you can find these equipment. Nothing else? Very well. Follow me. He turns and immediately just starts walking off. And this is the fastest walking dwarf any of you have ever met. This is a dwarf that walks with purpose and speed, intending to sort of. You sort of get the idea that the crowds here are so sort of dense that you really have to build up momentum in order to keep it once you get into it.
So New York.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's just New York.
Valdeth kind of makes a path as they walk just by like barging through people if she needs to.
But we could look at all the things we're passing.
As you're passing, there are signs. There are signs for bars, various establishments, blacksmiths, woodworkers, glassworkers. There seems to be quite a significant amount of glasswork done here. As one might expect, City of Glass. Also, off in the distance, you see the tallest tower in the town has at its top an airship dock that you can see. Several different kinds of airships sort of docked there. None of Taram manufacture. You know that it's particularly difficult to cross Dunisia in an airship because of the weather. Where Eleonora is very dry and sort of rocky, where Eleonora is very dry and rocky, Dunisia is dry and sandy. And the particular weather of Dunisia makes it very, very difficult to fly over it because you may occasionally fly into a sandstorm. And those aren't good to fly through. because they
Grit gets sand gets everywhere.
gets everywhere and
Of
wrecks
course.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
More than one Tyrian airship has crashed in Tunisia, because trying to cross it to get to Eleonora. But following Isidoro, you make your way into the crowds, and he very much has given you a path to follow, so long as you can keep up with him. It helps that you have a large centaur walking at the back of your collected peoples to sort of give all the people ahead of you sort of like a wedge view of like, there's a centaur coming, we should move. And sort of as they move aside in preparation for the centaur, they also move aside for all of you. So it's not actually all that difficult to navigate through the streets. A general store is pointed out. It is just sort of it's a luxuriant goods and services store. Like that's actually like, it just says goods and services on it. It doesn't even have like a specific name. Which Isidoro, if you are looking for general supplies for crossing and inhabiting a arid wasteland or desert environment, our general store here will have everything you need. From specifically treated tents that are designed to withstand the very harsh sandstorms of the Tunisian landscape, as well as several large-scale water containment vessels you will want to stock up before you leave.
Oh.
Is there
Probably useful, yes.
also a just general magic shop around?
Certainly. Yes. There are. In what particular kind of magic shop are you looking for?
Magic supplies. For him all out of the herbs and such for incense for recalling my familiar.
Certainly. The Arcane Affinity, then, would be the store you would like to go to. That will be just this way, as a matter of fact, as he continues to lead you on. Just a few blocks further down from the general store, there is one of the lower floors of one of the glass towers. There's sort of a door carved open into it, and on the outside, etched into the glass, is the Arcane Affinity. And inside it, there is all manner of magical. It's basically your magic general purpose shop, where you can get materials and components and things like that.
Yeah, I can make a whole lot of fresh water, so maybe we don't need that.
Excellent. No, that will be. You will be one of the most important people on our journey, then, probably.
Or I can fix it if it's gross.
And if you looked in the general store, the things that he was talking about, they have like, they look kind of like wineskins, but if a wineskin was a backpack,
Mm-hmm.
that size of water containment vessel.
Water panniers. Yep. Mm-hmm.
We might want to get some containers just to hold the water that you can conjure up.
Yeah. So we're meeting Prince whatever. Did we get? We don't think we got a name, did we? The Prince?
Yes.
Tunisia?
Prince Zane.
Prince Zane?
I believe it's Zane. Let me double check that. Yeah, once you join the caravan leaving, heading to the estate, that's where you'll be meeting Prince Zane.
Okay.
Which let me just double check. Yes, Zane, Z-A-Y-N.
Okay. Meeting him out there. So a reason he's not here, or is he just ready to go?
The Tunisian consulate is staying on a ambassadorial estate.
Fancy. Okay.
As opposed to staying within the city proper. The city proper is not the easiest place to get around, especially if you are used to the lifestyle in Tunisia, which is a much more a rolling plains sort of area than a tightly packed city.
Okay. Have you met him?
No.
Shoot. Okay.
Let's grab our supplies then and go meet our Contacts.
We should probably stop and get just a few large water sacks to fill with water.
Well, first, you are led to to where you'll be able to sleep
Yeah.
for the night before you join up with the caravan in the morning, which is the next pub, is the name of the tavern and inn.
The next pub.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good name.
It's almost like the I don't know, you pick bar.
Kind of. But yeah, the next pub is it's one of those buildings that looks like it was built around the glass towers as opposed to being in the glass towers. So it's this sandstone construction with tiled roof and open doors, no real windows or anything. You get led to your rooms. Rooms do have doors and they do have windows. It's just like the actual ground floor tavern area. It's very open concept. You could just sort of walk in, walk out. I don't know why Siri decided it was going to start listening to me right then. Not like she ever listens to me anyways. Siri never does anything I ask Siri to do. But yeah. And it's fairly well populated at the moment. Like this is one of those pubs that basically runs all day. There's people in it at all times
My
of
kind
day.
of pub.
Yes, if you would, this will be your lodgings for the evening. Feel free to freshen up. They have all manner of amenities you might require, baths, showers, the like. I understand that you're not yet accustomed to our warm, sunny climate here in Eleonora. Feel free to relax as
hot.
much as you like. Get your supplies. The caravan will be here in the morning at dawn.
I'm used to it, just not constantly. I don't tend to be in a forge for more than a few hours at a time, usually.
Does
Some like it
remind me
hot.
of home.
Yeah, Ithram, it's very much very similar to Desolation, which it's been a while since you've been there, so
Yeah,
it's
he's been spoiled by Taram's nice weather.
you have basically.
Like being on fire, except not on fire. And I can't not be on fire. It's awful.
And weird,
What?
and weirdly, Ariel doesn't even have pit stains.
It's
Perfect hair, your hair doesn't frizz.
Ah! So annoyed. What time have we arrived here? Like
It
what
is like
time of day is
noon.
it? Noon.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It is the hottest point of the day.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's a few hours before the hottest point of the day.
I was going to
Noon,
say.
noon isn't the hottest point of the day. 2 p.m. is the hottest point of the day.
Yeah.
Because then the sun's been up for a couple hours.
So what's around here besides? So we got the inn and there's a pub. That's exciting.
There are a
we passed the
variety.
shop.
There are
but-
a variety of entertainment venues if you'd like to shop around and have a good time before you leave in the morning. I highly recommend the billiard hall. And he sort of points down. It's a few blocks down. It is called the billiard hall. This particular street is full of very interesting and ironic names.
Okay. That's like games and stuff.
Yes, all manner of entertainment and drinks. Though they do not have
Okay.
any rooms, so you would want to vacate before you get so drunk you cannot move. Which is a common occurrence here in Luxuria.
Okay. We got that. Okay. Yeah, no, that sounds lovely. And there will be bats in the rooms.
There will be bats made available.
I'm gonna need one of those.
The baths they have specific bath rooms, like rooms where you can
Okay.
go to bathe,
Got it.
as opposed to a bath in the rooms.
Got it. Okay. Well, go to our rooms.
Yep. Set stuff
Val.
down.
Valdeth, you are dying.
Yeah. I'm not supposed to be in a forge in armor.
Oh.
Your arm,
No, that's like bad. bad.
Also, your armor is black and gold.
Yeah.
And lots of metal. You are
Mm.
wearing an oven. You are wearing a heat-attracting oven.
I need to get out of this armor while we're in the city. She starts peeling the armor off.
You may wish to take a visit to some of the Luxurian forges and see what they do to make armor that doesn't make you sweat like a pig.
Yeah, because we're
What
gonna
about
be like,
a bath?
we're not going south, are we? We're gonna be like, it's gonna be hot everywhere. We're going through desert.
You're going to be crossing desert. You're eventually going to be heading south, but you're going to be going mostly east and then south.
I'll have to see what the Eleonorians have ideas for before we leave. Before anything else, though, I have some sketches I would need you to look at.
Ooh, okay.
Valdeth pulls out a vellum scroll and sort of lays it out on one of the tables. And on it, there are these two very intricate design sketches of a pair of rings
Okay.
with sort of like empty facets on them, and then a pair of designs for the crests on set aside from the rings. One ring is very much this sort of like interweaving net design of vines and leaf work, a lot of like metal and gold leaf designed around the ring. So this like cross hatch ring that's not like, it's not one solid piece. It's a lot of interweaving workmanship
like
around a circular facet.
Yeah.
And the other one is very much a sort of diamond shaped facet, like the iconic like cartoon diamond, where it's like large vertical line pair of connecting points, and then like a very large, thick, geometrically shaped, thick metal ring.
I will note, William, mechanically, forging this would be a dexterity smith tools.
Yes,
roll.
dexterity smith tools. I know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be nearly as good at this,
Just
but
letting you
I
know.
still have proficiency. And she sort of lays the designs down. How do you feel about the crest positioning? She says, pointing at the individual. We can put our own crest on our own rings, or the idea that I had thought of was putting my crest on your ring and your crest on my ring.
Yeah, I like that. These are beautiful.
Skuzz, you find a bath.
This is actually very important. Is it like a bath house, or is it just like a bath in the?
It's a bath in a room.
I'm gonna go to a bathhouse.
I mean, they have those here too, just not at this establishment.
That's fine. Skuzz is absolutely gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna go to a bathhouse.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to come with me? Got my bucket with all of my toiletries in it. My duck.
Yes.
Does anyone else want to go to a bathhouse with Skuzz?
Yes.
Not today. Sorry.
Sure, why not?
Gent?
Gent thinks for a minute, and then pulls out a coin, tosses it, looks at it. All right, I'll come along.
Yay. Contrary to popular belief, I like baths. I just get dirty real easy.
That's fair.
You I hadn't
easy.
noticed.
So,
It happens when you're like knee deep in the ground all the time.
we'll finish
Yeah.
Titania and Valdez scene, then we'll go to the bath. So, anything else, William and Mara?
That was about it. Just sort of explaining the designs and
Yeah, she's
Deciding-
very
deciding where to put the
enthusiastic about it.
facets.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you find closer to the coast an establishment that has a large glass fish over top of it
Yes.
with water pouring out of its mouth.
I'm into everything.
And you find an open air bath, which is basically it's basically 4 pillars connecting architecture with no roof and no walls, and a series of large square marble baths, and also a series of a series of water pumps off to one side where you can like clean yourself before you actually get into it. And all of you learn that, so in Terra, nudity isn't that big of a deal, though public nudity is still a thing that people shy away from, generally. Like, the people will wander around the city with their, topless, but they won't, like, go full nude all the time. In Illinois, they don't seem to give the slightest fuck. The people working there are completely naked, as well as all the people, going there for baths, and just very, there's a lovely dark olive skinned woman with curly brown hair at the sort of like entrance area where they sign in your coats and things, and like, welcome to the Giant Trout. How might I? Are you all going in together, or would you like separate baths?
Together.
Certainly.
Separate.
One separate. And looks at the rest.
Sure.
All right. We will divvy you up accordingly, of course. Please follow me, and she will lead you to a place where you can store your clothes. As well as, so again, there aren't really any walls, but they are all built. All the baths are built slightly different elevations from one another. And so they have 4 public baths that are all at much smaller elevations, and then on either side of the public baths they have private baths which are raised higher. So it's like where like the public baths are like never really more than a foot or two difference in elevation, where the private baths are like 6 feet higher than the public baths. And so it's like they sort of give you this effective privacy from the rest of the bathers without actually like erecting walls or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you that wish to go to a private one, they have your choice basically of one of these 2 sides, and then the public ones are just all the ones that are in the middle.
This guy wants to go to the absolute most public bath ever. Like, just, yeah.
I mean, you have 4 to choose from, so you can you hop in one after cleaning yourself up.
Yeah.
And again, they're not particularly crowded because they try to keep the baths from having too many people in them. But there are people in all the other baths.
This guy doesn't care. He's enjoying.
Yeah.
He's enjoying being in a bath. He's got his little towel on his head. He's got his duck. He's a happy goblin.
You notice that on one side, on the beach side, there are a series of raised grill stations where people are making food for the bathers.
Oh, I thought people were making their own food. I was about to be like,
no, they're making food for the bathers, and there are like chaise lounges around that area where people can lay down and have their food. And
Perfect.
people are currently actually over there laying down and eating. So
Gent is just going to be in the bath for about a couple minutes, go back to the shower side, back in the bath. He's going to just keep going back and forth between those two in an effort to lower his core body temperature as much and as quickly as possible.
Fair.
the baths are very these are not hot baths as you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
They are like the showers are warm for actually scrubbing, but these baths are designed for cooling off in the heat. And they are very good to be in the hot like sun that you're in right now.
Scuzz is gonna stay in there until he gets nice and pruny. He wants to look like a grape. A raisin.
That was going in her own one, right?
Honestly, Valdeth, at the moment, if anyone asks, basically the answer is, I'm not what I should be right now. At the moment, I'm just a mercenary.
Okay. Do you want me to join you? Or
Sure.
because I kind of wanted to go. There's food over there, and I have an if you're a mercenary, then I'm someone else too. I'll see you in a bit. Titania has gone, at this point, she's not winter anymore. She's autumn, and I'm going to use Phase Step for the first time.
Okay.
Which, for autumn, up to two creatures of your choice that you can see within 10 feet of you must succeed on a wisdom save or be charmed.
Okay.
I'm going to cause some chaos.
Are you
a
just
little bit.
charming two
Excellent.
random people or two people in particular?
Yes.
Bring it.
Random people.
Okay.
They were the patrons of the bath.
Let me roll 2 secret rolls.
Yep.
They don't have
And-
any modifiers, so it's going to be basically just a roll.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me see. It's 8 plus my proficiency plus my charisma mod.
Rolled a 9 and a
8.
3.
No, I don't think they succeed.
There are 2
then.
people who are charmed by you.
Perfect. I am gonna want. I'm swimming around. I'm doing. Yeah.
I believe.
Titania's having fun.
I believe in this case, charmed just means you have advantage on on charisma based
Yeah.
rolls against them. So it's not
Mhm.
like it's not like you can really make them do things. But there are 2.
No, I'm not trying.
You have
to.
a pair
I'm
of
just-
admirers.
It's really great.
Yeah, the charmed condition is really a thing that's supposed to be built upon by other effects.
But you have a pair of admirers while you're at the baths.
Perfect. All right.
As is tradition.
But it does
Yeah.
prevent enemies from attacking you. So
Yes. So
Nobody.
we won't get ambushed.
You
by these 2 random civilians.
Yes. Yeah.
You found the 2 assassins in the city that were after you.
Gasp.
Right. So Titania is charming people. Valdeth is just soaking. Ariel's soaking in one of the private baths. Ithram's not there. Gent is moving back and forth between shower and baths. Guz is just turning into a prune. Anything else you guys want to do while you're there?
Oh goodness. I'm actually gonna start. Titania is a very social person. She's gonna like have conversation with folks because that seems to be fairly like it's not weird. And is gonna like ask about what's been going on here. If anyone, goodness, yeah, like what the if anything recent has been like new. She kind of just wants to get like the gossip.
Sure.
Of
Make
the current gossip.
Make a charisma roll with advantage because you have some people charmed.
Okay.
While that's happening, Valdeth actually is also starting up conversations, but hers are more business oriented. She's mostly looking for anyone who's familiar with the businesses around here who might know blacksmith who'd be able to help an outsider who's burning to death in their armor.
Sure. Make
Fair.
an investigation check for you with advantage because your people are friendly.
Ghent is just kind of people watching and trying to get a rough estimation of what the sort of tone of Eleonora is.
Make an insight roll again. With advantage, because again, these people are really easy to read because they're not really hiding stuff.
Oof.
All right, Titania, mostly Luxuria is a city of luxury, and there isn't really a whole lot that is particularly interesting for a mercenary. People will talk about the last social gathering that they went to. Somebody, so and so made a faux pas. So and so showed up with their wife and mistress accidentally. Various social gossip, but nothing like militarily has really happened at all in the city recently. People will say that occasionally some adventurers will head south towards the dragon reaches. And won't come back, presumably eaten by dragons that they decided that they wanted to mess with. People will occasionally make expeditions out to the glass plains further south of the dragon reaches, which you will hear described is what is a section of the mountain range that was melted down to a glass plain by the wrath of a particularly volcanic dragon.
Wow. That
is
That's
rumored.
dramatic.
That is rumored to still be living in the area, but no one's ever seen it.
That's not anywhere in the direction we're going, right?
No, that's far south of Illinois.
Okay.
That's
Is-
south beyond the Illinois national
Yeah.
border.
is there anything from the direction that we're going, or like if any, because I'm assuming there have been like scouting expeditions down that direction in preparation for this?
Mostly the news coming out of Tunisia is that the Tunisians have sought asylum in Illinois, and have been here for a few years now.
Okay.
And that the relationships with the Tunisians are a little strained, mostly because it's like the Tunisians and the Illinoisans have very different sort of like views on life, like sort of very different philosophies, and so that the Illinoisans are very easygoing, laid back kind of individuals, and Tunisians are very work ethic oriented. Neither of which are necessarily bad, but they clash.
Titania has definite opinions on that.
Like they're very like Tunisians are constructors. They're builders. Okay. They like to be building and doing, and the fact that they've been sort of forced out of their homes by this corruption has stressed them out a lot, and they're being stressed out, stresses out the Illinoisans that have taken them in, and so they're very hopeful that this recent mercenary expedition coming in from Terra will help them be able to move back home, because they're really good neighbors, not good roommates.
Fair. Very fair. Okay. That's all I wanted.
That's most of what you get. Valdeth, yes, you are pointed towards the narrow armadillo, which is a blacksmith armorer.
Right.
That specializes in. I mean, they specialize in Illinoisan style armors, obviously, because they're an Illinoisan armorer, and they should be able to help you get what you need. Ghent, you were trying to sort of getting a feel for the people.
Yeah.
You
kind of
you pick
basic cultural evaluation.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
you pick up on what Titania's sort of getting. This is a luxury-oriented society where the most important things in life in Luxuria, and possibly in Illinois as a whole, is how well you live. Not necessarily what you do, but that you enjoy doing it. And so basically everybody here sort of is very open emotionally, very open physically. It's all about having fun while we're here, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Which is probably why they have a city with giant glass towers that refract rainbows, because somebody was like, that's cool, I like that, I'm gonna do that.
Legit.
So, you enjoy your bath. After a while, you all get out.
Mm-hmm. I like it here.
The bath. You're not charged for the baths. The baths are free. They are public cool water baths are a public service in a place where heat stroke is a very real threat on a daily basis. This is a public health service.
This is nice.
This is a public health service. Wash yourself.
Planning on setting up a winter home.
That too.
Yes, actually, this would be lovely.
It'd be nice in winter when it's not quite so murderously hot.
Yeah, we're turning kind of a little red. I can.
And yes, any of you that have been out here for extended periods of time, definitely developing tans.
Tans,
burns,
I was gonna
say, except for Ghent, who is a redhead and therefore has been staying in the shade as much as humanly possible.
And is still burnt.
And Valdeth, who has the complexion of someone who grew up underground and thus is burnt.
Yeah. So, weird question. If I do gaseous form and like just sort of concentrated stream at like Val's face, would that help at all?
No.
Like a fan. Darn it.
You would
like
need
one
control
of those
winds.
Disneyland fans that just blow but spray at the same time.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like wait in the lines.
It says misty form.
Yes. It wouldn't
have
mist form, misty form.
Can't you Druidcraft to find mist?
I could do that. Yeah. Here. Did you find did you talk to anyone about
Yes, I
anything
did.
wrong
I
with?
did get a line on an
Okay.
armor called the Nero Armadillo.
Yes, go there. It's a great name. I can walk with you and spritz. I demonstrate probably in your eye. Accidentally the first time. Oh wait, hang on. Sorry.
But yes, I do appreciate that. Druid craft for the fucking the spritz fans that you can get.
Yep.
They have like the spinning fan and also a water bottle.
Yeah. It's a tiny harmless sensory effect. It's good.
Check out this flower. Start spinning.
Puff of wind.
Yes. Oh my god. Yes.
So I can come with if hopefully they should have something that will fit you. There's
I'm mostly looking for plans of what I can modify my own armor with, because my armor is expensive but also very protecting, and I'd like to be able to wear it and not something else.
I'm probably not gonna wear my armor. So I don't know.
Protect yourself with magic.
Yeah, I've got, and I'm always in the back because you all freak out if I get too close. So.
I don't mind you being up front as long as you're protected by magic.
Okay.
And other people as well.
I'm always protected by magic. I've got spores in me.
You know what I mean.
Damn it.
You know what I mean.
I'm just picturing Titania wandering around, but with 2 mushrooms acting as pasties.
That has already happened. You know it.
It's like I'm protected by spores.
Anyway,
Valdeth puts her clothes back on.
Yeah. No, I can come with, and if they've got something, then I think you should get it, even if it's a little less. I mean, you're gonna die of heat stroke or something.
Yeah.
You don't want to go that way.
I'll see if they got some modifications I can do for my armor.
Okay.
So you're heading to the Nero Armadillo?
Yep.
Anybody
Yeah, and I'm coming with.
Is anybody joining Titania and Valdeth on this journey, or are you guys staying at the path or heading back to the next pub?
Kent's going to the general store that was pointed out.
All right. What is?
I'll go with him.
All right,
go to the general store.
So Prune Scuzz is going with Gent. So we'll start with Gent and Prune Scuzz. Ariel, are you heading back to the pub? Are you going with them, or are you staying at the baths?
One of those. I will get back to
We'll say heading back to the pub then.
Sure.
No, I know you're busy. I'm just trying to. I don't want to leave Ariel stranded if you wanted to do something.
No, legit. Like, you guys are good.
Yep. So yeah. Gent and Scuzz, you head to the general store.
Yep.
What you looking for?
4 tents.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that they have as far as he doesn't expect to find anything magical here, but if they've got any sort of, this helps you survive in the hostile environments of an arid wasteland kind of thing. He'll be looking around for anything like that. Mm-hmm. Basically, whatever the desert version of Boots of the Winterlands are.
Yeah.
If they have it. If they have that, if they don't have it, he's going to ask if they know who has it.
It'll be Boots of the Dune. No, the general store does not have any magical items like that. They're mostly just
Figured not.
It wouldn't be Sandals of the Dune.
Probably, actually, yeah.
Dune
slip-ons.
sandals.
Dune sandals.
Yeah.
Dune flops.
Perfect.
Dune Crocs.
No.
Oh, Dune Crocs. That's a cursed item.
That's
You put them on.
God.
You put them on, and socks suddenly appear on your feet, even if you weren't previously wearing them.
no. You put them on, and there's always sand in there. Just
That too-
always.
that too.
You
Always.
never get it out.
Yeah.
You've
Always
got.
uncomfortable.
You always have socks on. You always have sand in the socks, and you can't take them off.
But they work real well. It's a trade-off.
Yeah, so the general store mostly just has general equipment. It has the backpack-sized water flask, water skin, and tents that are specifically designed for desert and arid climates. which is they're much lighter material than what you get in Taram. They're almost all of them are like just off white.
Mhm.
You can get those for standard price. The backpack water flasks are going to be, if you want to get any of those, are going to be 1 gold for those.
How many gallons do they hold?
However many gallons can fit in a 7-pound bag. Or sorry, a 5-pound bag. So like
A gallon of water is about
5 gallons ish.
So about 5 gallons.
Yeah.
Okay, he'll grab
Hold on.
4 of those as well.
Someone convert gallons to pounds.
Yeah, a gallon of water is about a pound.
So,
He'll grab 4 of those as well. Because create water is a 10-gallon spell, right?
Let me double check real quick. Yes, 10 gallons.
But how many stones?
Create
is
food
it?
and water can make 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water.
This
Correct.
is create or destroy water.
Oh, you have create and destroy water. Sorry, create
Yeah.
food and water is the spell I was thinking of.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
No, that's like a 3rd level spell or
Yeah,
something.
create food and water is 3rd level.
Yeah, and I don't think it's one I can actually get. It's not on my list.
5 pounds is not even a gallon of water.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah. A
okay.
gallon is like 8.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
no. Mhm.
I don't.
Yeah. A liter of water is
Different.
1 kilogram. I know that much.
Yes.
One gallon of fresh water weighs roughly 8.34 pounds.
okay.
There we go. I was wrong.
But
No,
how
you're
many?
fine.
How many stones in a
How much?
Hold
You have to
on.
define
So-
for me what the
okay,
hell a stone
so-
is because I keep hearing that and don't know what it weighs.
A stone is 20 pounds.
Actually,
Okay.
actually, so what we're looking for is not actually weight here. We're looking for displacement.
For volume.
Oh,
Yeah, we're looking
boy.
for volume
Yeah.
displacement,
Which
as
is
opposed
gallons.
to-
Y'all are on
This
your
isn't-
own.
This isn't the math I signed up for.
Yeah. Wrong math. I want click clack math.
We'll
rock,
say
There it
we'll say each one can hold 3 gallons of water, because that
Okay.
sort of size is right.
Get 3 of them, then that'll work.
How many milk jugs can this hold?
3.
Because a milk jug's about a gallon.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah. hmm Okay.
3
So
milk
it's a
jugs
3-gallon
worth of
If
water.
it's a 3-gallon bag, he's going to grab 5 of those.
Okay.
then.
Figuring out conversions for space to water.
Right. Yep. Okay. Easy enough.
We're
Alright,
gonna have
so that's gonna-
horses or camels.
Camels?
It's a caravan, so it's going to presumably be some type of beast of
Yeah.
burden.
All
It
caravan
just has to
means a
have
lot of
these
people
big,
moving together.
wide feet.
Yeah,
Wide, sandy
we don't know.
feet.
We did not ask that.
Yeah, but there's a head of state coming with us. There's gonna be animals
No,
to carry things.
there's a caravan taking you to the head of state.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
You just
then
get over there, it's just a bunch of hot dudes and loincloths and sandals.
with palanquins, yeah.
Yeah.
Palanquins, I think
palanquins.
is what you're talking.
Palanquins,
Yeah.
yes. Wrong letter there at the end.
It's okay.
Find out.
Welcome to
Emperor
the final
Palpatine
show.
was-
Welcome to the final show films. Semantics, physics, and math.
Also
podcast.
optics.
I
We
mean,
talked about
And-
kinks earlier too.
we you
No.
act like that's new, Jeremy. Semantics is our go-to.
All I'm saying is we are edutainment.
We are.
Edutainment.
We are definitely
We
edutainment.
are edutainment.
Take that, YouTube algorithm.
All right.
Oh my god.
So yeah, Gen's grabbing 4 tents, 3 water backpacks, 3 camelbacks, and
You can get that. Enough name for him.
yep, and yeah, if he can find rumors of where somebody might sell equipment that magically protects you from the elements in the desert.
Yes, you can find a magic shop. Actually, the same place that sells
Arcane.
components, the Arcane Affinity, has
Mhm.
some amount of common magical items and some slightly less common magical items.
You know what magical armor type probably protects you really well from just the heat. Fire resist armor probably keeps you really cool.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's like some sort of fire resist cloak or anything, yeah. He'll at least price mark that.
It's probably where you'll find Ithram.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Right at them. So magic items that you find for sale here at the moment, because their stock regularly rotates. They have they have 3 alchemy jugs.
Okay.
If anyone's interested in those. Let me figure out what the price on those is going to
Yes.
be lying.
Always. I'm always
Sole
interested. But I'm
purpose.
not there.
Always after the mayonnaise, aren't you?
Yeah.
Ah,
How much mayonnaise can an
Mayonnaise.
alchemy jug produce?
I'm all for mayonnaise, but
I think 10 gallons or something.
that whoever decided to put that in the alchemy jug, when they were writing up those rules for that magical item, they were high as fuck.
Yep.
2 gallons of mayonnaise.
Why wouldn't anybody want that?
There are so there's several alchemy jugs. They have a magical tattoo artist working out of this place that can provide absorbing tattoos that would help, like fire absorbing tattoos would help with the heat.
How much that be?
Yeah.
One fire absorbing tattoo would cost 25,000 gold.
Ooh,
So that's a little outside our budget.
we could
Just a
get one of
Settle-
y'all, maybe.
Settle for 4 silver
Not-
and a link
not-
in my pocket.
Not 2,500, 25,000.
Which is 5 times as much as the entire group was paid for this job that we're on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about saving up for it, basically, is what I'm saying.
Take IOUs.
Look,
good
you
to
can
have
sell.
goals.
You can sell the goblin. One of y'all can get it.
All right, so that would make it so that we got paid 5,000 gold and 30 additional gold.
Wow.
There are some desert sandals, which are a uncommon magic item, which are 300 gold each. They while attuned and wearing them, you ignore difficult terrain from sand or sandy environments. You do not suffer. You are kept at a comfortable temperature, so you do not suffer from heat exhaustion from traveling in the desert. And you have resistance to fire damage.
He'll grab a pair of those.
Those are 300. Those will be 300 gold each.
Okay.
Do they perhaps have a ruby of the war mage? Anything along that?
Look real quick. Roll me a d100.
Very
Rolling.
useful common magic item.
82.
Yes, they do. They actually have a couple of. They have a couple of different common gems.
Wonderful.
That would be 50 gold.
I will definitely buy one of those along with my 3 uses for Find Familiar.
Okay.
And if they have it here as well, maybe a small pouch of black powder. Anything like
You
that.
get that at the general store or at
Okay.
or at a blacksmith.
Okay, yeah, he'd probably pick it up at the general store.
Yeah.
Then,
Does it have a value associated with it?
no, I just have just want a small bag of powder. I didn't actually look up the
Hang on one
price,
second.
but I can. How much does black powder cost, Jack? Do you remember?
How much do you want?
Well, literally like a small pouch, like just
Like
a
Like a
Like-
handful?
like a handful's worth.
We'll say 1 gold.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Because that could make like 5 bullets. So.
All right. Yeah. Nice.
All right.
And John, you said that the desert sandals, you ignore difficult terrain based on sand or desert environments.
Yeah.
Right. You get fire resistance and you maintain a comfortable temperature.
Correct.
In hot weather.
Yeah.
Environments. Okay. Cool. I assume requires attunement.
Yes, it does require
attunement.
Okay. Meanwhile, Valdeth and Titania, you guys head to the narrow armadillo, which has a on the sign is an armadillo wearing a corset.
I love it.
That's adorable.
I have not put my armor back on, by the way.
No, Valdeth left her armor in her room.
I'm carrying mine with me. I think I had.
Did you put your clothes back on?
Yes.
Okay.
I do have my clothes back on. We're going to a forge. I know there are stray sparks. I'm around Ghent.
So this is.
Although actually, Valdeth could probably have put her armor in her bra holding.
There you go.
Just individual pieces, which is probably actually where she would put it.
You actually entered the front end of the blacksmithy, so you're not actually in the forge room. Though you get a blast of cold coming out of the forge room. Like as you enter, there is just almost like wintry weather, like wintry air just comes blasting out from the forge.
Oh, that's refreshing.
Nice. Yeah.
And standing at the counter of this thing, sort of having a chat, there is a purple-skinned tiefling, and a red-scaled dragonborn, sort of just talking back and forth to each other as you enter. The dragonborn turns. Welcome to the narrow armadillo. How can we help you?
Greetings.
They are both, as you have noticed, is sort of a trend. Topless, wearing very loose-fitting pants.
Mm-hmm. And you said they're both dragonborn, or
one tiefling, one dragonborn.
One tiefling, one dragonborn.
Yep.
What variety of dragonborn?
Red.
Red. Okay.
Purple skin tiefling, red scaled dragonborn.
Vala sort of. Greetings. Relatively new to the environment and the climate. And unfortunately, I am a mercenary who happens to wear heavy armor. You wouldn't happen to know any modifications that one would be able to apply to armor to help with the heat, would you?
Well, if you're looking at our particular styles, we can show you a few pieces if that would help out or answer your question.
Perhaps.
That sounds good.
People don't tend to wear the higher side of plate or anything like that around here. The heaviest armor you're going to find most people wearing in this region is splint, and they sort of they wheel out a suit of splint mail. The thing that you notice right now, immediately, sort of as you're looking at the suit, is that the only pieces of actual armor are the shoulders, the folds, the breastplate, and the greaves. All of the connecting armor that would be there is instead very loose, light-colored cloth. Oh, and the gauntlets. So like rather than like all the way up to your like armor going all the way from your hand up to here with like chainmail supporting in between, it's just armored gauntlet, very loose, flowing, billowy white cloth, pauldrons, more cloth underneath, breastplate, sort of billowy, like the breastplate which sort of ends right at the ribs almost. More loose cloth folds, which are the waist armor. More loose cloth greaves. It seems like they've removed enough of the armor so that it still guards vital locations, and everywhere else, rather than having reinforcing things like chainmail, it's just loose, free-flowing cloth.
Which is what makes it splint rather than plate.
Exactly. And trying to get anything more than this on a suit of armor here results in you basically building yourself an oven.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
If you're looking for something, this goes for 250 gold.
I've got my own armor, and it's personal, and I'd like to keep it if there's any mod. Vala sort of looks over and sees if she could basically just only put on part of her armor to basically downgrade it to a lower level of armor and just wear that.
You'd have to deconstruct it a little bit. It'd be very easy for you to take it down to half plate. You could take it down to half plate without making any modifications to it. If you
just
wanted,
not putting on all the armor pieces.
yeah, basically. If you wanted to make it any other level of heavy armor, you would have to make some modifications to it.
Do I think half plate would provide any kind of help with the heat?
Yeah, it would definitely. You'd be far less of wearing an oven.
Yeah. All right. Does the cloth help in general, or is it just a connecting piece?
Loose-fitting light colors helps diffuse the heat. It doesn't keep your body temperature as trapped in on you, and it reflects an amount of the heat coming from the sun. So it's functional as well as form.
Plate is all dark.
Yes,
Metal.
all of my armor is dark.
Yeah, and you notice the armor here is either the armor that you're seeing on the walls and on this test and on this example they brought out is either untreated or has been painted light colors.
We could just get this for while we're here.
Unfortunately, I've got enough currency to make modifications. I don't have enough currency to buy a full new suit of armor.
Can this be sold for anything? I will lay down I think I have just leather. Let me double check. I think I just have regular leather armor. Yeah.
And look at it.
How much could I sell that for?
Good quality Tyrian leather.
It's 10 gold.
Dear looks. We could buy this for 5 gold.
Okay. So I've got 210.
I'll keep it. Let's keep it in mind and see what else we can find throughout the city. We've got all day.
Okay, I'm gonna sell this, so I'll
fair.
take the 5
do I
gold.
have any ore left over from building my plate?
No.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind then.
Eventually, you all meet back up at the next pub.
So, look over everyone. Look at specifically Gent. Find anything useful while you were out.
Gent kind of hikes up the legs of his trousers, more or less, and shows off his desert sandals. These are going to be delightful.
Pair of sandals.
And basically goes into a little bit of a pontification. Apparently, I'll be as comfortable in the open desert at noon, or even a little bit past there, as I would be relaxing in the shade of the Druid's Forest.
Fancy.
That would be useful.
Could you wear
And
the
they're-
sandals with your armor?
Honestly, yes. The plate part of the boots are mostly greaves. It looked a little odd, but I could absolutely wear sandals with plate armor.
With plate armor.
Yes.
You explain how much those are. Okay, 300.
Yes, I got them at the same place that Ithram was finding his reagents and
Oh.
whatnot.
Convenient. Do you need a little bit more than Val to get the sandals?
Yeah, I've got... Mechanically, I have 38 gold, 44 silver, and 10 copper, because I had to spend a lot of my money getting the pieces to make this plate.
Okay.
What I'm hearing is that even with Titania's money, you wouldn't have had enough to buy that blend mail.
No.
It was, what, 250?
Yeah, 250.
Yeah.
You would have been just short.
We would have actually just had enough with the silver that I've got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she'll give you all of hers. And then see what else we might sell to get you those.
You had how much gold?
210,
So that
11
puts us at,
silver.
yeah, that puts us at 248.
Are you gonna take the silver too?
If you want to, that's up to you.
Yeah, I'll pass it over.
So
She
I
with
doesn't
can
that,
give you
care.
100. I've still got an extra 100 or so.
honestly, 50 would be enough to get the sandals for me.
All right.
There you go.
Perfect. I'll go get a pair of those sandals then.
All right, you go back and buy a 300 gold pair of sandals.
Yep.
Before he came back to
Gee.
all this.
He's
No,
talking about Ithram.
Ithram.
Oh, before Ithram
Yeah.
came back.
Yeah, on the way back, he would have just picked up a shield, great sword, or a great axe, because he doesn't know how to use a great sword, and a dagger.
Okay.
So, just those as well. And when he gets back, you just see him pressing a ruby onto the pommel, the underside of his flail, just holding it there for like the next hour until it melts into it halfway.
Do I have any idea what Ithram is doing?
Make an Arcana check.
13.
He seems to be applying a gem to a weapon
Okay.
magically.
I got a 19.
You've played Diablo. You know how gem slots work.
Yeah.
Scuzz. He's magically applying a gem to a weapon, probably to make it do something.
What's that gonna do?
We'll make it so that I don't have to hold my wand in my hand as well. Normally, I need this to focus the arcane energies, but with this now, I can use my flail. The same way I would use a wand.
A
If I could
2-in-1.
beat somebody to death with a wand.
Nice.
You can?
I mean, you can.
I no, this is very fragile. This is why I'm applying this.
Oh.
I mean, you do recall that your niece at one point did almost put somebody's eye out with her wands.
Right.
It's more of a jabbing motion than a beating motion, though.
Yeah.
Look, a really determined person could take someone out with a wand.
I'm not saying it cannot be done.
Darren's a really determined person.
Say it. If there's one
That's
thing
right.
a Darren has in spades.
It can be done, but at great risk to the wand, and I would prefer not to.
Fair.
Nice. It's
Okay.
very pretty.
Valdeth, immediately upon attuning to the sandals, immediately feels so much better.
Oh yeah, no, it's like your body temperature just drops back to a more comfortable level, and it's like, oh god,
Fuck, that's better.
like coming into an air conditioned house after a really hot day.
Nice.
Shite. Oh.
Valdez's hair like ruffles a little bit, like there's wind blowing across it. Titania continues spritzing Valdez in the face, even though it's not necessary anymore.
No. Okay, so we've got pretty much everything we need then for tomorrow.
I've got
Why is
tents for
everything-
everybody, by the way.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you.
Why is everything at dawn always? I have a theoretical question. It does not need an answer.
Thematic.
Anyway,
It's thematically appropriate. It's the start of the day.
yes.
Also, people like their fanciful stories of attacks at dawn and great marches at dawn and everything
Sometimes
else in
planning
legends
at
happen at
dawn.
dawn.
Also, most people wake up around dawn.
Yes,
It's too
it's
early,
the
though.
point where it is the point where light starts to for a show, so it is the best point to
Yes,
if
but like
you're
the
going to
night,
start
but,
it. It's the earliest acceptable
but
point.
then if you're walking east, the sun's like in your eyes, and it doesn't look so. If you go like in the east,
That's why you should always live east of where you work in the morning.
You guys live on the west side of Taram.
Yep, we do.
Well, we've got several hours left.
We usually work outside of Taram, though, and Taram is on the east side of the continent.
It is.
There you go.
Except for all those times you worked in Taram.
We had one job in Taram. Literal one job.
There's been more one job, but more than one activity.
Ariel, do you want to go out?
You
You said you liked parties.
That depends on where.
Okay. What kind of parties do you like? Because I think there's some going on. I heard a couple of like
What
different
sort?
plans.
What sort?
Well, pretty sure there's an orgy happening. I'll give like the vague direction that you know. But there's like, I don't know, I think there was one by like a fountain. That one sounded kind of nice. Like you might get a nice, if it was by the sea, maybe you get a nice breeze coming in. I don't know, but you haven't gone to any of the parties I've invited you all to, so I'm trying to figure out.
That is not true.
Oh wait, there was the one, but then that one sort of ended with anyway.
That ended the way that it ended doesn't matter. The point is I went.
Yes. I was incorrect. My apologies. What kind of parties do you like? Did you like that one?
It was all right. I mean,
Okay.
little higher class things, I think, than. Well, there are some very high class orgies out there, I suppose, but shut up.
Oh yes.
Shut up.
I assume that was to the voice in your head, not me, because otherwise I might be very offended.
You didn't say anything, so why would I tell you to shut
I
up?
said stuff before.
It was aimed at Esme. Let's be fair.
Darling, if I tell you to shut up, it will be right when you're saying the things I want you to stop saying.
Right.
Not after. Well after.
So what kind of parties do you like?
I mean, you kind of. I'll be honest, you.
The ones where I get paid.
I mean, there is that. I'm not entirely sure how to answer that.
Okay. You could show me.
I'm not throwing a party right here.
No, but we could go walk around the city and you
Go
could find
around,
them.
we'll find a fucking party. Let's go.
Perfect!
You did that on
Join.
purpose. You did that on absolute purpose.
So,
Fine.
you wander around the city.
Yep.
There actually aren't a lot of wild parties in
Mhm.
Luxuria. It's not like Taram's party scene. The party scene here is very sedate. It's much more a gathering of people lounging about, drinking wine and reading poetry than it is
Perfect.
a bunch of people mosh pitting it up to music.
Perfect.
Great!
Particularly along the beach, so that some people are actually lounging on flotation devices in the water, and there are torches planted in the sand and along the docks, and there's like it's almost like a midnight picnic kind of scenario on the beach.
This is delightful.
You could say that these people are luxuriating.
Yes, you could.
All right. I have a question then. What kind of poetry is this? How?
All kinds.
What?
All
kinds?
kinds. Mostly
Slam poetry.
it's mostly like romantic poetry that's like they're like poetry recitals happening every once in a while, but most of the partying is people lounging around, drinking wine, and talking about their poetry more than it is just reciting. There are a few places where they're reciting, but
Okay.
it's
Is it slightly pretentious?
it could be described
Or-
that way, but it doesn't.
Okay.
It's not. This is more people who are genuinely interested in discussing literary
Okay.
works and having these conversations, as opposed to having them to indicate how smart they are.
Okay. All right. It's not
Also,
too academic.
most of them are starbathing in the nude.
Fair.
Fair.
This is lovely.
See?
Are you going to recite something? Do you have a poet?
Absolutely. Do I look like a poet to you?
I don't know.
I remember several verses
I
you
don't-
penned. when
Shut
you were-
up. Not you.
One
I don't know that much about you.
comparing roses to someone's eyes, if I recall.
Okay, it doesn't count when you're the person in essential.
Your
We're
eyelid
not
is
talking
twitching.
about that.
Oh, that's
I'm
cost.
fine.
Does she-
I'm just
does-
fine.
Does she do that a lot? I'm really
We-
curious. I mean my
Do
my
I- Do what a lot? Like annoy me? Yes.
okay.
It's. I think we get along probably better than my constant grousing would give the impression.
Okay.
But
That's good.
we're just very different people. No, we're just very different people. That's the easiest way to say it, which means it was quite an adjustment.
Yeah. That happened suddenly to you, right? That's weird. That would be
Yes.
weird, I would think.
It happened very suddenly, in fact.
So how did you adjust to it?
I mean, I dealt. I reacclimated to some new personality inklings that I have. There were some very strongly worded boundary conversations that were had. Those still happen. I mean, she's not bad. It's simply I'm pretty sure I'm about to get yelled at, but I always viewed insert deity's name when I always get
Aradnir?
Thank you, Aradnir. I always
Aradnir.
get tongue-tied when I try to actually pronounce. Always viewed Aradnir as a frivolous, kind of pointless.
She's one of my
deity.
favorites.
Sexuality and love are never frivolous. It's how your people populate.
Anyways. So that influence was a little bit of there were some uncomfortable conversations, I think it would be fair to say. But we reached a bit of a balance in pretty short order. We had to function.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Do you like if you could not have her in your head anymore, would you want that?
I refuse to answer that question.
Fair. Sorry.
It's quite all right. It is a fair question, but one that is very complicated, and there is no way I can answer that will not result in a headache.
Okay. Well, the poetry is lovely.
It is.
I like this place.
I did.
It's really nice here.
I'm quite a fan of this sort of gathering, really.
And
And really, it's something for everyone because see, has made naked people. It's fine.
wine is served as well while you're here.
Perfect.
It's a blue wine, which is new and
Ooh.
weird.
I'm curious. I will try that.
I will let you try that.
It tastes kind of like it tastes like grapes, from like actual wine. Like it doesn't taste like something weird or like it's not wine. But there's almost a dryness to it that is unusual. Like it's almost there's you wouldn't describe it as salty, but it's almost salty.
Interesting. This is good. It's very good.
Valdeth probably notably shuts up while people are talking about poetry and just kind of looks askance.
Are you feeling any different after drinking?
I mean, I've got a buzz.
That doesn't count. That's wine. Oh,
You
very
mean
well. I'll try. Yeah, I mean,
I'll pass my
I
glass
don't know.
over.
You okay?
It's nice.
Give it a go.
Yeah, and like it's very different because you're used to fairly sweet
Yeah.
wines, so it's like having a slightly salty, almost saltiness to it is very odd, but it's not bad.
Right. Fair. Not
And-
exactly my thing.
Yeah.
It's no
It's
more
like if you distilled sea salt ice cream into alcohol,
Yum.
kind of.
Ah.
I think
To be
that tastes
fair-
great.
To be fair, I am not a wine drinker, anyways. But
Do you not like sea salt ice cream?
not really.
No, I love sea salt ice cream.
Not really.
Yeah.
It's that weird combination of sweet and salty that just it's great.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you've, reached an equilibrium that you're happy with.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's weird. Stuff has changed recently, but it's good. This is nice.
Oh,
How
so?
Well, I mean, just for me, I had stuff happen, a year ago. But this is nice. I like this. This has been a good trip so far. Titania has started to glow a little bit. It's right here.
Valdeth tracks that.
Yep.
Feeling all right.
Uh-huh. It's good.
Well,
And that's it. Basically, like I imagine as she gets
Is
more
it coming
inebriated,
towards
which
us?
is what?
No, it's
This is a question for the GM.
no.
Okay.
I don't know what.
Valdeth is staring at the sky.
Oh, okay. She's fine. As Titania gets more inebriated, I imagine she's slightly, because it's part of her, and it's like not some. She has to consciously control it, but as she loses like focus on things, it probably happens. The spores sort of start to glow a little bit.
If either one of
that's
you,
lovely. You have a visual indicator of how intoxicated you are.
if either of you follow Valdeth's gaze, you see a shooting star in the sky.
Ooh. Make a wish.
It doesn't work.
It could though.
I mean, it doesn't, but
It could though.
Do you make
no,
a
it
wish?
couldn't because it doesn't.
It could though. I pull out the paw.
That's probably not what he's at the moment.
Do you
No.
do
but
you
it's
make a wish?
pretty. No, I don't, because no one's given me a wish
Even,
yet.
even a silent wish?
I could do really terrible things, but then
You
that would
really
sidetrack
could.
the whole,
I'm excited to hear.
campaign. And
I'm so
I
excited
feel
to hear
real
the
bad.
next words come out of your mouth.
Because I know what she would say, and it would like sidetrack the whole thing. So she's waiting. We could. I mean, like, it'd be really nice to stay here forever.
The
It'd
thumb
also be
on the
very
monkey's
bad.
paw curls.
God damn it.
And that's where we're going to end for this week.
Fuck.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Oh God.
God damn it!
Goodbye.